leaves them financially fragile. If they stop working, the money stops. Simple as that. On the other side, though, you have the player. The player isn't selling time. They own assets, systems, and platforms. They're measured by their future potential, and crucially, they are compensated for the control and leverage they bring to the table. You could spend decades being the hardest worker in the entire room, but if you're only paid for your time, you remain fundamentally vulnerable.
So here's the heavy truth we all have to wrestle with. Hard work alone is just maintenance. Leverage is what actually creates wealth. Think about how exhausting it is to constantly give your all only to feel like you're barely treading water. Without ownership, a lifetime of flawless, dedicated execution won't create true financial independence. It really just keeps someone else's machine running smoothly. Now, hard work is undeniably important, for sure, but it only translates to lasting stability when it's attached to leverage. If you own the system, even a decent effort builds equity. If you don't, your maximum effort just pays your rent for another month.
Which leads us perfectly into section 3, the art of overpromising, or the theatrical game.
If hard work isn't the main driver of massive corporate rewards, what on earth is? Well, here is a hard truth. The market doesn't just buy what exists. It buys the story of what might exist. The source makes this really compelling case that the highest levels of the corporate game are not just technical or economic. They are highly theatrical. Massive financial rewards and status frequently flow to the charismatic people who master the narrative of potential, rather than the quiet, diligent employees who are actually grinding out the daily deliverables. This theater of potential explains why aggressive overpromising is often a way more effective strategy for career advancement than just quiet, reliable execution.
Just watch how beautifully reality gets spun by people who really get this theatrical game. As long as someone holds enough status or organizational gravity, they can completely warp reality to fit their narrative. A dangerous, unlikely edge case that suddenly gets rebranded in a pitch deck as a grand vision. Massive, totally irresponsible risks are sold as exciting moonshots. When projects fall severely behind schedule, it's not a failure of management. No, it's reframed as incredible ambition. An actual total failure, that just becomes a necessary iteration. The narrative is continuously manipulated to keep the story of potential alive, which completely masks the extractive reality that the workers lower down are forced to navigate every single day.
All right, let's look at section 4, spells of workplace sorcery, and the manipulative vocabulary used against us.
To keep this whole mirage functioning, management relies on some very specific psychological tactics, what the source fascinatingly calls spells of workplace sorcery. A primary spell here is future faking. This is the deliberate act of promising a better future, specifically to control your behavior right now. Think of that phantom promotion dangled right before a massive project deadline. The organization extracts your loyalty, your compliance, and your weekends today, all in exchange for an illusion of an opportunity tomorrow that they have absolutely zero obligation to actually deliver. It's literally trading your real, present value for their fake future value.
And right alongside future faking, we have the incredibly common tactic of breadcrumbing. This is the art of giving just enough tiny intermittent signals of possibility to keep you walking on the treadmill. It's the manager saying something like, hey, we're discussing the budget for your role next quarter, or leadership is really noticing your extra hours right now. These little breadcrumbs offer just enough intermittent hope to keep you emotionally invested and working hard, but